Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the books I picked up down at Half Price Books, in which I forgot to record an intro for this video. So let's go ahead and begin with Batman number 6 from Rebirth. I've got quite a bit of Rebirth Batman, so I went ahead and picked that up. Then we have Batman Gotham Knights. Just no K, just Knights. So the people of Gotham City and Batman. Whenever I look this up, it basically just looks like a soap opera set in Gotham City. So looking forward to reading that and getting the other 3 issues if it's enjoyable enough. Then I picked up some issues of Gotham Central. We've got issue 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have Nightwing number 1 from Chuck Dixon's run and picked up a bunch of other books in that series. It's really cool covers, literally cool. And got a handful of these. If you want any more information on these books, or you want to see my whole collection, I've actually been putting it all into League of Comic Geeks, and I'll put the link in the description so you can check it out. All of my books are on there so far. There are some that they don't have listings for that I got to submit, and then I've got some books that I just haven't gotten around to cataloging yet. But the bulk of my collection's there. So yeah, those were all the Chuck Dixon Nightwing books. Then we have just one of these Nightwing The New Order. Alright, next up we got a bunch of these Archie comics. I picked up the first couple issues of this whenever it came out, and it was interesting enough. But then there was all the hype for Riverdale, which I'm not a fan of, and just kind of fell out of picking up the new books. They've got some interesting covers. Some of them are kind of boring, but I'll definitely be looking through these books before too long. Now this one I accidentally bought 2 of, because I bought issue 27 and then 28, but it turned out that another 27 was in the bag. So that's alright. Then we've got number 31 there, which I remember this cover for some reason. I don't know why. Betty and Veronica 3, Josie number 2, and then Jughead 13. And then, even though I just said I didn't like it, they had Riverdale number 1. So if I meet anybody that is looking for this book someday, or it skyrockets to $1 million, it'll be worth it. But if anything, I paid 35 cents for it. So, yep. So we're moving back over to the stack and looking at the Duck books. So here we have Darkwing Duck. These are the Disney cartoon tales. They've got a bunch of comics in them. And now we're actually moving up to this book's $2 instead of 35 cents. And the thing about this book is I have a Tailspin and a Chippendale that are in kind of this series, which was released back in like 1990-ish. And I had those when I was super, super little and never got the Darkwing Duck one. But whenever I joined League of Comic Geeks, they had the Tailspin one on the database, but they didn't have the Chippendale book. So that was my first submission. So if you go and find that book, that was actually my submission. But whenever I was looking at those, I saw that they had a Darkwing Duck, and then they just so happened to have that at Half Price Books. So I picked it up. That was a long story and I picked it up. Next we've got Donald Duck Adventures. A lot of these books that have boards just use like this round cardboard. I've never really seen that before. I'm a big fan of Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge comics. Basically any Disney Duck comics I like. And this cover was pretty cool. Next we've got Donald Duck Adventures, which this comic book really caught my eye because anything with like a bunch of water, and then you got like an ancient Greek looking building, and then whatever this spaceship looking thing is. So at that point I said to myself, that's it, I'm done, you've bought enough. No more, that's all. And then I found the Indiana Jones books, which we've got number 2, which these are all $2 a piece, and that really started making my total skyrocket. So we got number 2, number 3, number 4, and then we jump ahead to 14, 17, 28, and 29. So I will one day have a complete set of these because I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, but I thought this would be a good jumping on point, especially since I get to start with number 2. And then the last single that I picked up was Indiana Jones, Fate of Atlantis, which is, I think this is probably based off of the game that came out in the 90s, which I'm a big fan of, and you can still pick that up and play it through like digital distribution from GOG or Steam or anything like that. All right, next we got the 2 trades that I picked up, and the first one is The Flash, New 52, Volume 5. I have the first 3, but I don't have the 4th one, but this was only $3, so I went ahead and picked it up. I really enjoy this run, but I know a lot of people don't like it. I'm not sure why. It's not the best thing in the world, I guess, but the art's pretty good. And then the last book that I picked up was Harlan Ellison's 7 Against Chaos. I don't know much about this book, but I'm a huge Harlan Ellison fan, so anytime I see any of his stuff out in the wild, it's pretty rare, so I pick it up. Now, I'm sure it's not rare to buy them online, but finding them in a store, especially in my area, not too common. Alright, so those are all the books that I picked up down at Half Price Books. Now, there were a couple of Green Lantern issues, but those are going to somebody else, so I didn't bother showing them in the video. And, yeah, hope you guys will come back and join me for my next haul, which is actually a haul that took place before this, but I really need to get these books put away.